can try. Wow, neat.
Give me a break.
I don't like this.
Whoa! What's happening?
Whoa!
Where are we?
The world ended. Didn't you get the memo?
Fucking idiot.
Hi, I'm Flan from Skeletal, and you're listening to MHOG podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the MHOG podcast. I'm your host, Wayne.
I think I'm Adam today.
You're going to be Adam today?
And this is Rum.
And today we have a very special guest coming from a long distance, Mr. Martyn Flannagan of Skeletal Damage.
Hey.
How's it going, man?
Awesome. Glad to be here.
There. Well, yeah, you know. I'm glad you came on the show. It's awesome to have you. You actually are our first overseas guest.
So I'm plundering your overseas virginity.
That's it. You are.
That brace yourself, boys.
What part of England are you from?
Well, I'm technically from Stoke-on-Trent. I live in a little place called Cheshire now, which is just south of Manchester. So pretty much right smack bang in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Where all the greasy people live.
My favorite soccer team is...
We call those Italian Americans here. Of which I am one.
Oh, good. No, it's an awesome little part of the country. I love it, but a lot of people don't.
Well, as long as you like it, fuck them.
Yes, mate. Yes, that's exactly right.
Well, anyway,
Were you really looking at me to ask the questions about the band?
No, man.
Flan, I can ask you boys questions. That's no problem.
I'm the only non-metal guy here. I have no language when it comes to any sort of music. So usually whenever we interview bands, which we've had like 4 or 5 bands,
about
or band members rather, I get kind of silent.
Yeah, he kind of just goes, I don't know what to ask.
I was just like, is it pretty where you're from?
It's a good little town. I mean, there used to be a massive metal scene in England. Now it's sort of waning into all the little scene fags and stuff, with people wearing glasses with no lenses in, which I have no idea what that shit's all about.
Oh, please keep that over there.
Yeah, seriously.
You don't need that style on over here. We have enough bad pants sagging, idiots that
we call them kids.
Yeah, basically. The hipster kids out here are just a pain in the ass.
It makes me feel like I'm getting old because I look around me and I've been brought up with denim and leather. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all these kids are wearing snapbacks and drop dead clothing, and they look like really bad catwalk models.
Do the people out there, the hip kids, wear skinny jeans out there?
Oh dear Lord, yes they do.
Is that the most obnoxious thing ever? A man in skinny... It's basically a man wearing girls' pants.
They wear women's shirts too.
Really?
Oh, really?
The big open neck fucking things. Oh my word. With their puny little pube chest hair.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me, dude. They wear actual, the big neck cut open shirts.
Oh yeah, totally. Have you ever heard of a clothing company called Drop Dead? I shouldn't really be name checking them on here, but
no, we're good.
That's all right.
The guy from Bring Me the Horizon, the lead singer of Bring Me the Horizon, a British band, owns this company, and of course all these scene fags love this genre. They love the music, and they've all just jumped on and bought all this clothes.
It's almost like it kind of sounds like a Hot Topic kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have those over there. It's basically like a popular popular head shop is basically however you can put it.
Being fair, they do
Yeah,
occasionally
similar.
like full shirts.
Yeah. Occasionally
But
you find something good, but
it's very much the kind of place where you would go to find whatever's, literally it's a hot topic, like whatever's
hip.
quote unquote cool right now. So,
Are they the assholes that sell like Nirvana and Guns N' Roses t-shirts to kids who've never even bought the fucking album?
yeah, the reprints. Yes, definitely.
Oh, that makes me sick. We've got a few shops like that over here, but I stay the fuck away from those.
Speaking of Nirvana, has anybody seen the pictures of Kurt Cobain's daughter?
Sweet.
That'll make you feel old.
Actually, I have not seen the pictures.
That shit'll make you feel like a paedophile.
Adam's used
I
to
already
that.
feel like that. That's at least according to my mother.
Right.
My mother.
Earlier cast, his mother was accusing him of being
My
a pedophile.
mom basically accused me of looking at kiddie porn, which was a great moment in our relationship.
That sort of cements the love there, doesn't it?
Yes.
She the big moment for her for me was when she said, "I would be very disappointed," as if that was the criterion, if my mother was okay with me looking at kiddie porn, that's what.
Don't worry about prison, just worry about the disappointment.
Yes, yeah. I'm extremely disappointed in you. Oh, okay. So me looking at children is all right, but you just,
It's true, though. It's true. I mean, you think about it. Like, the worst thing your parents could say to you is, I'm really disappointed.
I know, because it makes you feel like shit, doesn't it?
Yeah, my mum always used to use that, but then followed by a swift uppercut.
Yeah.
My mom just gives me this look, like, you can tell she's disappointed in what I said,
Well, one of those looks that makes you thank fuck that she hasn't got heat vision.
Yeah.
Again, I'm a fourth generation Italian. The disapproval is implied
From day one, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
We're Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
Disappointment is kind of a given.
Well, I mean, we're from an Irish background. A few generations back, it's all Irish, hence the Flannagan name. And I think disapproval and shame is inherent in the genes.
So, I see on your website mentions somebody, or at least as far as giving people a palette for your
What
style,
your sound
mentions like Metallica, Killswitch Engage, Megadeth, and Pantera.
Machine Head.
Machine Head.
Yeah.
Are those your influences, or that just the easiest way to explain what it is you're going for?
I think initially it was just a way of getting out the pigeonhole. Just chuck a few bands in there that are a similar genre to us, so people could get a little taste of the area we're in, and then go from there. I think people make up their own minds when they listen to us, but I think, as far as I'm concerned, Pantera and Machine Head had a massive influence on me as a youth, and just helped me run with it. It's that sort of style. I wouldn't say I'd obviously consider them far better, but you know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, Pantera, I would say, was probably, has big influence on some of the stuff that we do down here too, because I mean, Phil Anselmo's from New Orleans, so a lot of the bands have that feel.
And then he's a dude that if you are local, you actually have the chance to meet.
Yeah, you can meet him, and he goes to local shows a lot. So.
Lars Ulrich isn't letting anybody over.
Nah, he doesn't come over to hang out. No.
King Drums, Lars Ulrich.
Nah, he does bitch at you for downloading his music though.
I saw a photo of them the other day. I think it was on Facebook, and it looked like a picture of an old folks' home.
Wow.
Of Metallica, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. I posted one sometime this week. It was Lars on drums, Axl Rose singing, and Kerry King on guitar. And I put
I saw that.
Yeah, it was like the world's first band ever. The biggest ego trip in the entire world would be their band, Yeah.
It'd just be the equivalent of tying a load of pots, pans, and about 13 cats to the back of a truck and taking a spin around the block.
Exactly.
I think I'd actually pay money to see that anyway.
Yeah, I would too, actually. That'd be kind of interesting. And then somebody asked me who the bass player would be, and I said it would be Fildy from Korn, because I couldn't think of anybody worse,
He just plays the bass like he's smacking his mother's ass.
The bass is like so tuned down, it sounds like the strings are like jump ropes.
They do.
It's terrible.
Totally.
I wonder if that is how he smacks his mother's ass.
He may.
That's how I smack his mother's ass.
Oh, there you go.
Do we have that video?
Yeah,
On that.
Well, I've got a question here. Well, it's not a bad question. It's actually about the band. How did you guys form? I mean, what was that process like?
It was a bit crazy for me because the band, how it was originally, was already formed except for the vocalist, and it was two friends of mine who had previously been in a band called Gifted by Loss, and it was far more extreme metal. I think there's a little snippet of it somewhere on MySpace if you ever wanted to dig that out. But we had loads of fun together, but it just petered out because it was a local band and we just did it for fun. Then I got a phone call sort of early 2008 saying, hey, do you want to come up and sing a bit with us, because I was the only guy they knew who could sort of handle the sort of stuff that they were putting together. So I went down just for shits and giggles, and a few months later we were playing the Download Festival, which was
that's fucking incredible.
Absolutely ape shit. It just went from nothing to fucking everything. I will say the guitarist Tom Barnes is relentless. The guy is like a dog with a bone. He will not let go. It really is. A large part of it was his tenacity and getting us these slots and giving us these chances.
Well, you always see somebody in the band like that.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm a lazy bum. It's true. I work hard in a day job. I'm a dad. You know what I mean? I've got a lot of things on my plate, and when I sit my ass down at night, that's it. I just think, fuck this. Whereas his brain's always turning. There's always something going on in there, and it's usually positive for the band. So I'll say it publicly now, even though his head will be getting massive from this when he hears it. But yeah, I have to say a large part of that. But the other guys, the original lineup, a guy called Carl Worthington, who was the drummer, who I was previously in Gifted by Loss with, and a guy called Paul Kazira, who is a phenomenal bass player, and the only reason he had to leave is because his missus had kids, he's got a stressful job, and his family life had to take priority. That's the kind of thing that happened. But yeah, these guys were instrumental in doing what we did. I just came along for the ride and drank the free beer.
And that's the best part.
Oh yes. I always ended up not driving, which is always good. I always had a designated driver, so I'd be shit-faced. There's a few videos on YouTube. One of the tunes we did, Night Turns to Day, which is just based on a lot of Romero films. It's just the only really funny take the piss tune we did. Oh my word. It's just, I was so hammered. And you can see it on stage. I even missed my cue when I come in. And it's like the one we've got the most views on.
I believe
that's the one on your website.
That's the one on the website where you broke the microphone stand, correct?
Yeah, fucked it completely.
That was fucking priceless when you were like, oh well, I'm gonna try to put this back together. Well, I can't.
Just throw me another one for fuck's sake.
I've been there. I've broken my microphone. I've put my microphone through one of my drummer's front head of his drum. I've hit many people in the face with the microphone lots of times. I've fallen on the floor, drunk, still singing, but I was on the floor.
The show must go on.
Oh yeah, it was.
I collapsed the lighting rig on top of our drummer.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
I can put my whole hand in my mouth. Apropos of nothing, but there, one of the gigs that Wayne played a couple years ago, there was a band up there, and one of the lead singer, had a very unusual microphone. It was supposed to be a gun, handgun.
That was for Magnitrous, yeah. They have a handgun for a microphone.
Am I getting this confused? Who was he the dude who it looked like he was sucking a cock the whole time?
No, that was the guy that was wearing the pink shirt. I don't remember what the name of that band was.
Then I'm getting those. But he had some sort of like unusual.
It was a pink microphone.
Okay. Well, he was right up on that thing because it looked like he was sucking a cock the whole time he was singing.
He probably can. I have no idea who he was, but
I'm glad you corrected me because the former Magnitrous guy is pretty big, isn't he?
No, he's a little guy, but he's still a really cool dude, and he probably listens to the show. So
sorry, Magnitrous guy.
So Kim, if you're out there, he likes you. Okay.
Hugs.
Your drummer now, I can't remember his name. Is his name Tom too?
Yeah, Tom Shrimpton.
And he's from another band, right?
Yeah. They're from a band called The Deadly Waiting. It's really successful over here in the sort of more popular part of the metal scene. They played Download the same year that we did. They're doing real well. Okay. But he's a phenomenal drummer. When our original drummer left, this dude had 9 hours to learn an album and knock it out, and the tracks from the album, him coming in fresh and just just knocking the shit out of it. This dude's 21.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I can't thank the kid enough. And he was happy enough to help us out while we looked for a full-time drummer. He stepped straight into the breach and kicked ass, took names.
Wow.
Can't thank the geezer enough, I really can't.
That's awesome.
That's a hell of a talent to learn that album in 9 hours.
I think he did a lot of it just off the cuff because the original stuff didn't fit quite as well as this geezer did it. And he knocked the shit out of it. He really did. We've had people saying, oh, these are programmed drums. And it's like, no, I've played live with this guy. These are not programmed drums. He's a machine.
Yeah, I've heard a few bands that are, I keep saying to myself that it's programmed, and then I go to see the band live, and the drummer's just, like, incredible. And I'm going, wow.
Strapping Young Lad did that for me.
Oh yeah, dude, God.
One of my favourite bands of all time.
The Alien album is so incredible.
Mind-blowing.
Yes.
It's Gene Hoglan. I've watched him play in a big pair of 10-hole Doc Martyn boots.
Yeah, I've actually never got to see Gene Hoglan play, and that sucks.
It's unbelievable.
They don't ever come, for some apparent reason, Strapping never comes to New Orleans, and I don't know why. I've actually sent messages to Devin several times through his record label and every other damn medium he's on and asked him to come here, and never.
No shit. Well, he plays this area with the Devin Townsend project quite a lot. I tell you what, boys, next time I see him, I will fucking grip the man and say, get your ass to New Orleans.
There you go. That's what you need to do. That'll be much appreciated.
Speaking of which, when y'all coming across the pond to tour?
When you boys and girls want us, if we sell shows over there, then we'll get across.
Well, now that you're on the MHOG podcast,
hopefully we'll get you a fan base down here and get you guys down here. That'd be really cool.
Podcast sensation that's sweeping the nation.
Really?
Hey, I'm digging it. I thought it was well thought.
It was.
I'm expecting at least 14,000 new likes on Facebook by the end of this when it airs.
Well, sweet.
That's impressive because we don't have 14,000.
Well, we can promise you at least 14.
Right.
Mate, it's all good.
But we do have a weird thing where we have 20 nations at this point listening?
No, actually, we're up to 52.
Okay.
Like, we have no idea where and how these people have found us out.
I'm assuming it's Core of Destruction Radio.
It must be, because we have 52 different countries to listen to us, and I'm pretty excited about it.
That is, of course, Core of Destruction Radio.
That's right.
It's good to know that with whatever you do and whatever art that you do, that you can actually reach people with it, whether it be just making people laugh or writing songs or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's insane. Like, a couple of weeks back, Rum was telling us, we're, what do you think? We're 600, 800 miles from you?
Yeah. Maybe more.
Rum was walking around in the area that he works, and he overhears someone talking, and it sounds like me.
I was looking around.
Is Adam here? What? And
they were playing the cast off out of their car.
Yeah, which is pretty fucking cool.
And then I have a comic book podcast, and somebody I ran into at a comic convention starts talking about our store, and he's like, "Yeah, I was just listening to that store's podcast." I was like, "Okay, well, you were just listening to me. That's bizarre, It's but you're in a band, so I'm sure you kind of get that all the time as well."
I'll have to pick this podcast up, by the way, because I'm a serious comic book fan.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Serious comic book fan.
Well, you'll love this story we talked about last time where Scott Snyder was insulted by...
Right. Do you read Batman right now?
Yeah, I've been reading it.
Yeah, I posted something about how I wasn't crazy about the ending of Death of the Family, and I forgot that Scott Snyder follows me on Twitter. And I don't really think about these people because they don't really talk to you. So you just kind of assume that they just follow a bunch of people. And the next morning, I get a direct message from him on Twitter saying, "Really sorry to hear that you didn't like Death of the Family. I'm immensely proud of it."
Awkward.
Yeah. I don't know. He was such a nice guy. Like, when you meet some of these people, some of them are just dicks. And it's cool. Like you never have a problem saying something about a guy you find to be a dick.
Yeah.
But when a dude's really, just nice and he said the main reason he was disappointed is because he's a big fan of my opinions. And now I have to go give him a good review for something. Like, go read the first volume of Swamp Thing and just be like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, you did good.
He's got to be aware that he can't please everybody all the time.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, as a musician, you know, like, I'm sure you have a favorite group of songs that y'all have done, I don't know, a favorite album. And for somebody that you respect to say, it didn't really come together, you know, like, you put all kinds of, so I understand. And I don't change my opinions. I'm not going to be one of these dudes that kisses everyone's ass. If I think you're doing something that's shitty, look, art from adversity. You got to be willing to take criticism, and he was. It wasn't like he was bitching like, oh, well, you know, you just think that because you're some stupid blogger.
Right.
He was just genuinely.
He was a nice guy, and he was like, shit.
And he went home and he cried.
Yeah, in his Batman cup.
In his Batman costume.
And I was just thinking that in a full Batman costume.
And he was riding the Batmobile to make himself feel better.
Yeah, he was just probably sitting at home counting all his goddamn money from making the Batman stories and going, man, I wish I would have made Adam happy.
Stumbling down the street with pulling bottles of gin out of his bat belt.
It drives me nuts. You see these people's homes, it's how I would like my home to be, just completely full of their own merch. It's just like, I mean, I own just so much ridiculous excuses for not toys. They are not toys. They are dioramas. But oh man, I see all this stuff around these people's homes, and it just makes me sick to my stomach because I'm that jealous.
Yeah, me and Monica's home is full of, you know, as you would say, toys or dioramas as well. We have statues and models and all kind of garbage everywhere.
Yeah. The trouble is now I've got kids. It's a case of my daughter really wants to play with these sort of things, and it's like she's handling a live bomb.
You're like, get away, kid, that's daddy's.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm having to steer it in the direction of certain things. And, well, I'm just getting into Star Wars and stuff like that now, and Dragon Ball too.
That's Daddy's Sailor Moon doll. Leave it alone.
Yeah, you definitely don't want her playing with whatever you've done to that Sailor Moon doll.
Well, just stay away from the mouth, you'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Fun times. But yeah,
Well, she looks like she's albino now.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been given another chance to get out there and just get back into the world of toys and shit TV and stuff again. You know what I mean? Old school anime. It's good. It makes me happy because it gives me a license to be 5 years old again.
Personally, I never burned out. I mean, I don't have any kids or anything like that, but look, there's only a certain number of things that keep me from a killing spree, and, you know, taking away my Young Justice is probably a bad idea. You hear that, Cartoon Nation?
Yeah, that's why I play video games all day. You know, when I get my free time, that's what I do.
But
that and music.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much how I spend the majority of my free time if I get it. Just games, music, comics, that sort of stuff. I've never grown up.
Well, if you do, you die.
It sucks when you grow up. Yeah.
I can't imagine something more soulless than not having this shit in your life.
Yeah, you get. It's like everybody's like, when are you going to grow up? Well, if you grow up, you get old and then you die.
Real fast.
Yeah.
I remember reading some blog by a chick several years back about how pathetic it is that guys these days like play video games and all these things. And they're like, you know, when my father was a kid, he didn't do these things. Video games didn't exist when your dad was a kid, dipshit. So, also...
Unless she was like 14 when she was writing this article.
Possibly. But what I'm saying is, like, what difference does it make whether I watch football or American football, where you're from?
Yeah.
Or hand egg.
What is it called?
Hand egg. You're not kicking a foot with the ball with your foot. You're holding an egg in your hand. It's American hand egg.
Hand egg. That's awesome.
I don't really even watch it. As far as I'm concerned, it's one dude grabbing another guy's ball from between his legs. So
yeah.
How can anybody criticise somebody for liking comics, sci-fi, whatever, when they get enjoyment from watching 22 grown men run around a field getting sweaty? I don't understand the logic.
Yeah, playing in
we're Americans. Logic doesn't really understand. It's about feelings, man, okay? What I feel is that men are supposed to be sweaty and millionaires and big cocks, and I don't know.
Get paid millions of dollars to throw a ball around.
I'm not saying I don't have a big, huge cock.
I
don't, but
yeah. You know, we were gonna let that go, Adam.
Yeah, what his big huge cock?
Never let it go.
Always hold it, Rob. Always.
Only when I peek.
So, I mean, I don't know how many listeners we have over there in England, but what's
Well, we have like 100 and from the UK alone, we have about 150 5 downloads from them because it breaks it down, so I can see they're our 4th most downloaded country, and I think 98 is probably Plan.
So those other 4 guys, what do you have coming up next?
Us coming up next.
Yeah.
We're just starting to write the second album now. We're just getting it together, putting a new bass player in place, getting our heads down there. Hopefully it's going to be a little bit more of a different sound, just because we've grown a little bit as musicians, not just the fucking heathens we were at the start, banging pots and pans and shouting down microphones.
How so a different sound? I mean, which direction are you thinking about going?
Opera?
Well, I was thinking more like Justin Timberlake or,
Oh,
that's nice. Yeah. Get your suit and tie.
It's going to be metal and unabashed metal. There's no point in selling out, doing more singy bits, doing a kill switch engage radio edit or anything like that.
But, a little teapot, nothing like that.
And we've previously been massive fans of the old 8-minute songs as well, so maybe we're going to cut a few down, but we're just going to see what happens in the writing process.
Cool. I love the 8-minute songs.
It's got to be done. I think certain songs when we were writing them, they didn't feel right clipped. They had to have a natural progression, and without sounding like an arty-farty bastard, we had to make them the length they were, and we were advised against it by a lot of people, especially if you've got a 40-minute set, and you're only banging like 4 or 5 tunes into that 40-minute set. It can be a little trying. Because let's face it, the majority of people who go to a show want to be punched in the face with lyrics, you know what I mean? They want these little snappy tunes that pick them up and throw them about for a bit and then put them down gently at the end. And that's not what we're about. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's awesome if people listen and enjoy our music, but we write for us. If we don't like it, if we aren't bashing our heads and rocking the fuck out when we play it, then there's no point in letting anybody else listen to it, because it's not honest. We've got to be honest with the music, and that's what a large part of this is about for us. Do you know where I'm coming from?
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
I mean, the honesty, you said that. I mean, it's listening to some of the songs. What is it? The album's Fire and Forget.
Yeah, that's the one.
I mean, it's raw, and it's good, and it really does thrash you around. You listen to it, but it, when it's one of those songs.
We've been together less than 12 months when that was recorded as well.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. It was literally, we got together, played some gigs, got download, got signed, made an album all within 12 months.
That's
so
awesome.
we just knocked that shit out. All the vocals and most of the guitar pieces were all done in one shot as well.
Sheesh. Well, more the power to you.
There's more money and time constraints than anything, but yeah.
Because, man, our first record took me forever to record, just because vocally it was very challenging. Because I can't
believe it.
I think one song took me like 6 hours. It was ridiculous.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, it was bad, and my voice was like completely shot after that day. I was like, ugh.
Well, on that album, what would you say was your favorite song? I mean, personally, on that album.
Personal favorite to play or to listen to.
When you sat back and you listened to that song, what one on the album was it?
That's Beneath the Deep.
Beneath the Deep?
Yeah, Beneath the Deep. That song, funnily enough, was originally entitled Cthulhu vs. Molaram.
That's great.
Well, the original, if you ever have a chance to read the lyrics, the original premise behind it was, I'd been watching the old Clash of the Titans, and it started out that way. And I was thinking, right, who'd win in a fight? As you do. Molaram's pretty kick-ass, he's got the flaming heart, pull the shit out of your chest strip. And I was wondering if it'd be able to penetrate the giant hide. It's just one of these things when you sat at home fucked up and you drank a little bit too much, so I started writing these lyrics down. That's the way it came about, but it became a little bit more serious during the writing process. I would tweet it. It's pretty much it's looking at the depths of which man is capable of reaching. You know what I mean? From all in the name of something ridiculous, whether it be religion or power or government or whatever. And that's what it's all about. It's about dragging the shit from the bottom of your soul to do something ridiculous for the sake of an unjust cause.
And then perform it and throw it out on stage. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I felt that way the other night when I was watching Liam Neeson kill motherfuckers on Taken.
Yeah?
Yeah, good film.
That's a good movie. I haven't seen the second one yet, but...
I watched that recently, actually. It's still pretty good.
The second one's pretty good?
It's pretty good. The best part of it is at the end, the daughter's driving while he shoots people, and she's screaming, Daddy, Daddy. And he's like, bitch, shut up. I'm Daddy's gotta kill motherfuckers. And it's just like a 10-minute sequence of her ramming into cars and him telling her basically to shut the fuck up so he can kill people. But anyway, So
Flynn, where can people get your the album and all your merch and stuff? Because we will be playing
well, you're on iTunes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd prefer it if people went and got it directly from us, because at the minute the label's having a few problems, so we're making sure that people get it straight from us. But fuck it, share it between yourselves, copy it, send it to your friends. I don't give a flying fuck about copyright. Get it to everybody you can.
Sweet.
Do you know what I mean?
But if you can, give them some money.
Yeah, I'd prefer to buy the album directly from you if I could.
I mean, damn it, the man's got a kid.
Well, yeah, give him some money.
Daddy's got to eat.
He's got to buy some new Star Wars toys. What the fuck?
Buy the man a pint, for Christ's sake.
She needs a Sailor Moon doll that has not been violated.
Yeah, straight from skeletaldamage.com is all good, but it's on iTunes, anywhere, Amazon, play.com, wherever you want to go and float your boat for it.
Yeah, the only I have the EP. I have the A Headshot Was the Only Way. I have that. I haven't gotten the other stuff yet, but I will, definitely.
You know what? One song I really like off that album was Of False Hope.
Now, a lot of people have said that. That's not one of my personal favourites, but so many people have made that same comment.
I don't know what it is about that song, and it might be the main intro to it. It's so, I don't know. It's when you listen to that intro, and this is no reflection on anything bad or anything, first thing that popped in my head when you had mentioned that Pantera had been an influence and everything, I hear that Planet Caravan type of that feel when that song opens up.
That's interesting to hear that. That's good shit. Because it was one of the first tunes we wrote too. And that's one of the only tunes I didn't do the lyrics to as well. I think there's only two songs that I didn't do the lyrics to. So it's an interesting way of hearing it, yeah.
But that opening, it's the music that really catches you when it opens up, which I really kind of dug that.
It's a nice song.
Yeah.
But just,
was it The Dogs of War? That was In Your Face.
Yeah, that's a big song as well. Nice popular live one too as well. So we can rock the fuck out and everyone else hopefully follows suit. There's one song on there that's sung called The Deadlights, and that song really, really means a lot to me. And people go, oh, fucking singing, because people are quite elitist over here. So if you're in Killswitch, it's okay, but if you're in a local band, people go, fuck you.
Yeah, they're kind of like that down here too. If you don't sound like some of the other bands that are out here, they kind of just frown upon it.
But that was a perfect example of how we write. That was just one of those tracks that when I heard the intro to, when Tom first played me the intro, the only thing I could hear was it being sung. And I'm not exactly the greatest singer in the world, but it just seemed like it fitted right. And it come off well. It's one of the tunes. It's hard for me to listen to because it's about a pretty personal part of my life, but it's a good song. It's a good song. But people can't pick it up and listen to it straight away and go, yeah, I like that shit. It takes some listening to.
That's a little like telling someone their baby is ugly.
Yeah. It's like, I really love this song. It fucking sucks. Oh, you have a beautiful, you have an ugly baby. Yeah.
I have a beautiful child. She has her father's genetics.
I do too. I just wish I knew the father.
There you go.
Nasty individual. See, this is my first experience with Americans, and I thought it was all going to be fucking sweetness and light. I can now see the grubby underbelly.
Yes.
Not yet, but if you want to have the pictures.
Yeah, we can send them to you, no problem.
Don't ask for the pictures.
Oh, this is the internet. I have seen far more than my eyes should.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
Yeah, well, Wayne's one of these guys that loves to send people pictures of things that
shouldn't be sent.
I've learned not to answer his text messages ever.
Yeah.
It just goes straight to delete.
Unless it's just text. If it's just words, he'll look at it.
No,
you delete those too?
I delete those too.
I remember my wife picking up my phone one day, and I was at work, and she happened to stop, to bring me lunch and everything, and I was like, oh, this is nice. And she was standing by the phone, and I said, oh, just grab that phone call if you don't mind. She picked up the phone, I went, oh. I said, what's wrong? She had this look at her face. She goes, there's somebody's testicles on your phone. I was like, oh, it's got to be Wayne.
Wayne's testicles or a picture sent by Wayne off testicles?
It may have been mine. I don't know.
More likely.
You have ever seen the movie Waiting, Glenn?
No, I haven't seen that movie yet.
It's a comedy called Waiting, and it's about the restaurant industry. And basically, what it is there's a bunch of assholes in the restaurant that like to play this game where they show each other their nuts. And if they show them your balls, you look at them, you get punched. So what me and another guy decided to do is we would, instead of showing each other our balls, we would take pictures of them and send them to people as a game. So that's where it started. It was pretty ridiculous, but OneDestructionRadio.com.
So let me get this straight. Balls. You get kicked by sending pictures of your balls to dudes.
Yeah, you do that.
You know, I asked
we can
the
get
same
along
question,
fine.
man. Same question. I don't understand it.
Who has better looking balls if you don't
Come
do
on.
Exactly, you've got to be proud of what you have.
Exactly.
I mean, I send some awful shit to my friends on the internet and via text message, and it has got to the point where people just go, no. Delete.
Ah, yeah, it sounds just like me, huh?
I mean, I don't know if you boys have seen Tub Girl.
What is it?
Tub Girl.
No.
Dude, Google image Tub Girl.
Okay, leave the room while you do that. I have successfully.
The second I saw this picture, I had to go and send it to everybody.
Oh, girl. Okay, we'll have to look that up.
It's vile.
Is this the one where the girl is in the jacuzzi?
Yeah, I would say that is a good approximation of what's happening.
Okay, I think I have seen that image.
Of course you have.
Out of all of us, I'm probably the only one that have seen it.
Oh, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's pretty damn hysterical.
Wait.
It's the same.
Oh, why did I just look at this? Oh, really? Oh, come on.
That reaction is exactly why I do it. That is exactly why I do it.
Oh, I listen to you, man.
Thank God for so sick.
I just threw up a little bit in my mouth.
That shit's
And I would highly recommend to every single one of your users, your listeners, to go and look at those images. And,
Tub Girl.
bathe in the glory that is Tub Girl.
Literally bathing in that.
Not gonna do it.
So,
Do it.
are you guys planning, like, after the second album is done, are you guys planning a big tour, getting some shows together, or?
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be hitting the live scene really hard.
Do you guys do, down here we do, like, a album release party. Do y'all do those out there, or?
Yeah, we had a storming album release party at a place called The Box in a little town called Crewe, and it was amazing. It's our home venue, and we got such an amazing reception. Played with a lot of our friends' bands, just had a blast. I can't remember the second half of the show because I was absolutely fucking wankered.
Wow.
But that's great. That means it was a good show.
Is it pretty easy to find clubs out there that handle metal? Because like down here, there's only a certain small amount.
It's getting sparse down here.
Well, you said the metal scene was waning in a certain way. I was,
Well, it started to die off a little bit when a lot of this deathcore shit came out.
Oh, yeah.
I swear to God, if I hear another breakdown in a song, just chugging the shit out of it, I'm gonna fucking stab somebody. It drives me to distraction. But it's a case of it's really starting to pick up. There's a lot of really good venues now. A lot of awesome promoters who work for the bands. They make sure that people know that you're coming. You know what I mean? They're really nice to the bands as well, which has been a thing of the past. A lot of venues treat the bands like shit, and we're working fucking hard. We don't just turn up, bass out some shit, get pissed and go home. Do you know what I mean? We work fucking hard for what we do, and for people to treat you like a piece of shit or make you pay to play. I mean, I don't know if you have that shit over there, pay to play, which is basically you have to guarantee that you will sell X number of tickets.
Yeah.
We've done that. Shows like that, yeah.
We have that too. Some of the promoters down here make you do that.
I mean, we have done it a few times, just purely to get the venues that we needed to get the exposure that we wanted. But let's face it, you want to be treated nicely. If you treat someone with respect, you would expect that they treat you with respect.
Correct.
And that's coming to fruition now. I think people have realised that proper old school real metal is where it's at, and putting on these scene kids is going to get them nowhere because it's a flash in the pan. They've got to get their heads together and realise that where the people who want to come see these gigs are.
Yeah.
The real fans, and that's what's happening now. Thankfully, it's a real nice thing to see. I mean, there's a place called the Pit and Pendulum in Nottinghamshire,
nice.
And it's amazing. The venue's so friendly. I mean, shit, I couldn't find the toilets, and it's behind a bookcase. You have to push a bookcase open to get through to it.
That's incredible, man.
Check it out on Google Images. There's loads and loads of stuff on there.
When I'm a billionaire, my house is going to have that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's got to have secret compartments and shit. But I mean, just for a venue to pay for the fuel, they expect that because you're well known that you're making thousands and thousands of pounds out of what you do. And let's face it, I mean, you're a musician yourself, Wayne.
Yeah.
I think you know full well that you get paid fuck all, and it all comes out of your own pocket.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you get nothing at the venues. I mean,
half the time you got to pay back because you owe at the bar.
Right. Well, not only that, but you got to pay the sound guy. You got to do this. You got to do that. And then
Totally.
and by the time you fucking split it up between the bands, you got shit left.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm glad there's only 4 of us instead of 5.
Yeah, there's 5 of us, so it's we basically what we do.
Somebody's got to get fired there, dude.
All we do is put all our money together. Like whatever we get paid for shows, it all goes back into the band, so we can just get stuff. Like if the drummer cracks a cymbal, we go into the band fund and get him a cymbal. That way, it's not really all coming out of our pockets. I mean, most of the guys in the band are married or have kids, so it's kind of like we're all the older guys of the group. We're not like 20-year-old kids, 15-year-old kids running around playing music anymore.
Yeah.
We have other responsibilities, so that's why we put the band fund together, so it'll be easier to produce a record or to make that way. It's
the only way you can do it. I mean, a lot of, especially in England, you see it a lot of bands that are reasonably successful. Tend to be rich kids that have had virtually unlimited funding for what they needed and got it that way. And it is possible if you've got a lot of money over here to be able to pay to play for these venues. You could be playing to 3 people, but if you can afford the tickets, you'd be playing the big venues. You get that on your CV. You get that under your belt. People look at your list of the venues that you've played when the promoters are checking out people. They see these big venues, think, yeah, they must be the shit, and they get you in and pay you good money. So you know what I mean? That makes me sick to my stomach.
It's an interesting way to self-promote, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
If you got the funds to do it.
I mean, obviously social networking plays a big part of it, and a lot of these bands are young kids, and of course, they're all seriously au fait with the social networking thing, and they can run a computer a damn sight better than I can. The stupid thing is, my day job is working with electronics. I repair electronics. But I can build you a computer from the bare board up. Turn it on. I haven't got a fucking clue. Not a clue. I had to do a college course for work to get some extra qualifications, and they sent me to college, and they were like, "Oh yes, produce a Word document." And I was like, "What document? What the fuck's Microsoft Word?" Honestly, it made me feel about 18,000 years old. The best part is at the time he was 13, he's 16 now, my nephew. And at 13, he was showing me how to do shit. And I was thinking, oh fuck, this is so past me by, I am old.
It's not old, man, it's experienced.
That's right.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
But you're just experiencing other things, not computers, that's all.
Right.
Well, yeah, true enough. I mean, by trade, I was, still am an artist. I just do a lot of drawing and painting, a lot of tattoo designs for people. And even that, it gets to the point where loads of people are knocking up all these digital designs, all clean and beautiful because they've been produced on a laptop or whatever. And here's me spending hours slaving over a piece of fucking paper.
Erasing, scratch.
Stone Age carbon, scratching on paper.
Well, I think other than like colorists, I think a good number of artists these days still prefer paper over doing it digitally, just because, like, number one, you get to keep the art, like you have something actual physical rather than printing it out, and it has a different feel than doing it on a piece of glass.
Yeah.
It's the same with owning a piece of art, though. I mean, it's one thing to have a print and another thing to actually own that piece of art.
Right.
I mean, I did a bit of to and froing with Anime UK, and between me and my brother, we got, I think it's like 9 original cells from Akira.
Wow.
And with the pencil backing, and it's phenomenal. Just looking at these bare painted pieces of celluloid, unbelievable. I mean, lucky as fuck, really lucky to get those.
Wow.
But it's one of those things that when times are hard, you think, should I sell them? But I couldn't do it. I'd rather eat bread for the rest of my life than sell something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's really awesome, dude.
When you own that art, though, you're actually, in my opinion, you're kind of owning a piece of that person because you're owning the time they put into it. You know, you got something.
I mean, I have a shit ton of prints, but I mean that's only because I'm not going to spend $200 on a piece unless it was done by somebody that I really wanted it by. You know, I mean, because I do like a lot of people's stuff that they make prints for, but do I like that person that much that I would pay $200? No, but I mean I'll give them $10 to support them and buy a print.
$100 is about my limit, except for my top 4 gets.
Right, and I read those.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that over here in £40. That's probably what £70, something similar.
Y'all are probably a little above us now. Like, your money's probably worth more than. Oh wait, wait.
The pound is
well, no,
about 25% more on the dollar, I think, almost.
Yeah, something similar. I think I'm absolutely.
I was seeing math. Yeah, I'm not gonna try that.
Our money's we just print ours now at Kinko's.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we just do it on our computers at home. I've been using that Monopoly money.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
The horseshoe's worth more now.
I think I wouldn't mind paying extra money if it was signed. I mean, my brother, he got me for, I think it was my 30th birthday, a signed print, Preacher one, signed by Glenn Fabry of Bray.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Badass. Oh, I unwrapped that little bastard. I could have wept. I mean, it is only a print, but it's signed and numbered. I have to say, there was a little movement in my trousers when I opened that.
I hope on the good end.
In my pants.
Which end?
A little bit of both, I think.
All right.
What is that one of your favorite comics? Is it?
I think, yeah, I'd say it's getting up there because, I mean, my brother is a big comic book fan. I think since he's had a family and stuff, he's slacked off a little bit and he's more into his obscure movies now. But he got me into some amazing titles really, really early on. Titles I'd never because I was very much Spider-Man, Batman, just your run-of-the-mill Marvel DC type stuff when I was a kid.
Right.
And he started bringing home loads of stuff from Image and Dark Horse and things like that. And it just opened my eyes to the fact that there was far, far more out there than just your run-of-the-mill standard. I mean, I'm still a huge Spider-Man fan, I won't lie. I've just been planning a Venom tattoo, funnily enough.
Oh, cool.
Nice Todd McFarlane one. Now, I would pay $200 for a Todd McFarlane picture, without a doubt.
A sketch? You mean a sketch?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Todd McFarlane would say, that's all.
Yeah, he'd probably say, oh, that's all you're going to pay? Okay, well, here, it's the size of a business card. Here.
Well, there's nothing wrong with digging Spider-Man and Batman. That's the stuff that keeps the industry afloat, But it's good to know that they have all that other great stuff out there and just different forms of storytelling.
But it was like when I saw stuff like Aliens versus Terminator, Robocop versus Terminator and Aliens versus Terminator and things like that. And
from Dark Horse, yeah. I remember those.
Random titles. I got issue 1 of I think Robocop versus Terminator, I think it was. And it's just deep joy at getting these random titles that end up being really good reads.
Yeah.
This is why I refuse to believe that these things are aimed at kids. Because
and that's kind of the problem. Like we need kids reading comics, and it's a great art form to get kids interested in different forms of art. But they don't like kids anymore. They just want to put out like rip-offs of Watchmen and shit.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, I read the original Watchmen and it was okay, but I don't think it was the best proponent to give kids an idea. I think the best thing that they're doing now, although, fucking hell, I'm going to hate myself for saying this, the fact that they've brought up to date a lot of like the Marvel stories, they've changed the backstory to fit a more modern era.
Yeah.
It fucking kills me to see stories that I've grown up with and loved and accepted as absolute fact. Like, sitting there watching Spider-Man, and my other half, she knows I'm bad for this. I was going, that didn't happen, that's fucking wrong. sat in the middle of the cinema, just going out of my mind, because I was expecting an amazing film, and I get this absolute piece of shit. And it's soul destroying, but I think if kids are going to start reading comics again, that you've got to make it more in with the kids. Oh, what a fucking horrible phrase that is. But yeah, kids have got to get into it. I think they're really missing out something. I got so much as a kid, so much imagination and flights of fancy, giving you some different brain space than the shit that they watch now. I mean, it's easy to go online and look at some cartoons and shit and whatever, but it's just not the same.
Well, it's like we were talking about Saturday morning cartoons and stuff. I don't know if you guys had that over there, but
yeah, definitely.
Like when we got up in the morning as a kid and watched G.I. Joe and He-Man and all that stuff, and now you get up at Saturday morning and what do they have on there? Nothing.
They got the Wiggles.
I mean, there really is nothing on TV for an adolescent kid to watch, like cartoon-wise.
There is, but what you're talking about is like Saturday morning blocks. But there is stuff on Cartoon Network that kids watch.
Yeah, but not everybody has Cartoon Network.
It's not the same. Yeah, well,
cartoons used to be on like all the stations.
Yeah, 4, 6, and 8. All the local stations would have their cartoon blocks, and you would have to watch that you like
used to do it
watch
at daytime TV over here. They used to and they had morning shows where they have, a couple hosting the show, and run through the day's boring bullshit topical news. They used to have a section of half an hour, 20 minutes where they'd break and it'd be random cartoon.
Wow.
And it was awesome. I mean, now virtually everybody over here's got Cartoon Network because it's on Sky TV. But there's stuff like, the new version of Thundercats and Iron Man Armored Adventures and stuff like that isn't too diabolical.
I like the Thundercats.
See, I didn't ever get to watch the Thundercats before they shut it off.
I think it's actually light years better than because Thundercats was awesome when we were kids. So when you go back and watch it, it doesn't hold up very well.
Oh, I know. I own them
Thundercats,
all on DVD, and it's pretty ridiculous to watch.
They kept a lot of the basic batshit insane elements and just made it flow better as a story.
That's exactly right. I mean, this goes back to what we're saying about they're updating the story, and I think certain ideas they've got it right. Like with Thundercats, they've definitely got that right.
But it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone now. I mean,
that's what Cartoon Network does. They cancel things.
Oh no. This is the first time hearing of this because we're a fair bit behind the States with most things.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much backwardation.
Sorry to ruin it for you, but it's not coming back.
And they're going to end it stupid.
Yeah, probably.
Fuck's sake. I mean, they did this with one of my favourite shows, Dungeons and Dragons, when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
They never finished it, so those kids never got back home. That is a fucking travesty.
I know. That's funny. I actually bought the DVD set of all the episodes of Dungeons and Dragons the other day. It cost me like $3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is probably like £1, is what I'm guessing.
Right.
There we go.
On conversion. I'm trying to help out here.
The recent thing that Cartoon Network canceled that I've been pissed about for about a month. I knew it was coming. I don't know if y'all have gotten Young Justice and Green Lantern, the new those animated series.
We've seen Young Justice. That was pretty good. So far it's pretty good. Oh, it's fucking ended, hasn't it?
Well, have you seen the
fuck's sake?
They just get the first season, I think.
Okay, well, towards the end of the first season, it kicks in high gear. It's mind blowing. The second season is called Young Justice Invasion. It takes it on another level. It's arguably as good or better than Justice League Unlimited.
Which is a good show, yeah.
And now, they took a hiatus after the first 3 episodes for 2 months, and then as soon as they came back, they're like, yeah, so these shows are canceled because we didn't sell any toys, and they're just amazing shows. So a lot of people just really pissed. I'm kind of done with it with Cartoon Network. They don't have any great shows anymore. They've got this fucking Dragon Riders of Berk bullshit from DreamWorks.
Yeah, the spin-off.
Yeah, I mean, I understand kids dig that shit, but...
My kid loves it, but I can see exactly where your point is.
Yeah, so, there's just... I don't know. It's weird to be... I'll be 34 in a couple of months, and it's weird to be 33 years old and saying, there's no good cartoons for me anymore.
Well, dude, I'm 36 in a few months, and I'm saying exactly the same fucking thing.
Well, animation is where it's at for a lot of us. It's in a way, it's like comic books. You can do whatever you want with those stories that you can't do with movies.
Yeah.
I mean,
animation is the gateway drug to comics too.
For a lot of people. I mean, unfortunately, it's not anymore. It should be, but anyway.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that's happening now that's getting people back into comics tends to be anime, because I know a lot of people will watch random anime, whether it's something like Bleach or Naruto or whatever, and end up going and picking up the manga, the actual hard copy paperback.
Yeah. Well,
getting into it.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's still as big as it is here. The card games that they still play all over at the comic shops.
Yeah. They kind of ebb and flow. Magic was pretty low for a while, and now it's big. Yu-Gi-Oh's kind of steady, just because I think that's the only, Pokemon really only has the cartoon now, or the video games, so Yu-Gi-Oh's kind of the only thing that's been there for kids, and
I don't know. I don't comprehend those card games. They aggravate me.
I think Marvel and DC should come up with card games.
They had
them. That shit.
They had them.
Did they?
Marvel had an actual RPG game for years.
years.
No shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they did have an RPG game because I actually have one of the books upstairs somewhere.
If you can get your hands on any of the Marvel RPG, it's the system isn't redundant. A lot of systems become redundant, over time. That system's very playable, and it still works to this day, So it's actually a pretty decent game.
Well, who was it geared towards? Was it geared towards like kids, like little kids, or
No, it was.
It was.
I was
that's
playing
what
in
I'm
college.
saying, because I don't give a shit about card games.
I'm
never going to be into
This
it.
wasn't a card game. This is like Dungeons and Dragons.
You filled out sheets. You had to roll dice. You did adventure type of things.
A proper RPG.
Yeah, correct.
What I'm saying is they need a Marvel and DC version of Yu-Gi-Oh.
They have that. It's called Marvel Masterpiece.
Masterpiece.
And it's a card game, just like Magic and.
I've never. Well, they're not doing a very good job of promoting it.
No.
I don't know about it.
No, I think I have maybe 2 or 3 of the cards just because I thought they were cool. I found them somewhere, and that was about it. Yeah, it's horseshit.
I played a little bit of Magic, but it was just too many rules, man.
It is. It's just too much to. I just can't do it. I'd rather plug in the damn video game and play that.
Well, Magic people are pretty obsessive. They're kind of the World of Warcraft card people.
Oh,
I dipped my toe into Warcraft.
I'm not insulting World of Warcraft.
It baffled me. It baffled me.
do you play Warcraft?
No, I
Okay.
tried once, and it was just insane.
Thank God.
I used to
I
like
thought
Warcraft.
I'm the only sane person in this entire United States. It seems like everybody else decides they want to play this goddamn game, and I don't understand why.
We call them basement dwellers.
Good. See, I'm not the only one. Even people in other countries think that.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
then
sure
I
about
can
that.
sit online at some random shooter like Call of Duty and just lose days.
Yeah.
So I'm just as fucking bad.
Yeah, I am too. I don't get me wrong, but I don't understand the people who have died playing this game and the people who get married on the game, and I don't understand.
Insane.
Well, to me, a lot of it is, when it comes to obsession of that game, I used to play it, but I picked up a 360, and I've been gaming 360. I don't see the point in paying for everything, paying for the World of Warcraft, paying for 360. But it's just as obsessive as people that obsess over Star Wars.
Well, there's a
touchy subject there.
I know what he's saying.
Yeah,
he's talking about.
It's any addiction.
He's not talking about just the people that just really love Star Wars. He's talking about the people that
Dress
you
up
know,
all day long.
Live and breathe it.
like they
Yeah,
cut.
it can go way too far. Cosplayers.
Yeah, the ones that they're LARPing Vader. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We probably have a few listeners in the 501st, and we're not insulting people that
No.
that
No,
are
of course not. You know what I'm saying is,
obsessed.
it can take over your life a little bit.
I just love the fact that it's usually fat, middle-aged dudes dressing up as skinny, muscular sort of characters to whatever. But, I see it a lot with anime. I love looking at the fact that these people are so passionate about it. Me personally, I'd look like an absolute cunt. But I think that, it's awesome that they can get passionate about it. I don't think it's particularly a really good way to, get out your real feelings and who you are.
I love that you're being so PC with this.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
I don't want to come off sounding insulting, but I do find it quite insane.
Have you ever been to any? Do they have cons up there? Don't they?
Yeah, I'm looking at going to the London Comic Con in May just to go see what's shaking down there.
I was going to say, because they do the same thing up there.
Yeah. If I could get to the proper Comic Con, my God, they'd have to pry me out by me cold dead hands.
Yeah,
San Diego Comic Con's just like a dream come true. That'd be.
It's the same over here, but I can't afford to spend $5,000
Just to go to the Comic-Con. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't think many people can.
I am envious of you because I would imagine if there's a convention that Warren Ellis is going to, it would probably be London Comic-Con. And,
hardly any people have been announced yet, so I'll be interested to see who's going.
Yeah.
All my favorite writers are English, although a lot of them are immigrated here for art.
Fucking blood traitors.
You can say it, cunts.
Yeah, go for it.
Bring it up, James Robinson. That guy's nuts. He's threatened to beat up reporters and shit.
Really?
Yeah. I think he might have been joking, but, as Americans, I do think we have a hard time telling when drunken Englishmen are really serious about beating the shit out of us.
sarcasm does seem to be lost on some Americans.
Yeah, a whole bunch.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's most of them.
I mean, we're talking about, we had a show a couple of weeks ago where Wayne found a story about people, was it in, like, North Dakota or something like that? Or
which story you talking about?
The story where they ran the zombie,
Yeah. It was in Wisconsin or something like that, somewhere around there. But what they did was some guy decided to hack a news channel and.
Well, I don't know if y'all have this here. We have these early warning systems that they're like,
in case of storms or.
It'll broadcast over channels, radio and television, and it plays the sound beep, and then says, this is the early broadcast system or some shit like that.
No, our early broadcast system is usually just some old woman that lives next door who's got nothing better to do than look out the fucking window.
Look out the car!
Well, anyway, so this is a setup in America that you're fairly used to from a small child.
Right. And so this hacker decided to hack into all the channels in this town or the area of Wisconsin or whatever, and he broadcast over that the dead have walked from
I saw this on the news. That's amazing.
Yeah, and people actually called the police and were like, is this real? Come on. Really? Yes, it's real. Dead people tissue has reanimated and is coming to life.
I wonder if anybody got killed. Because there's some ass.
They would have came back. Yeah, they would have came back anyway.
Well, what I'm saying is, there's some ass that was like, after it's all said and done to find out it's a hoax, there's like 3 dead guys laying in the street that some guy had pulled out his gun to do headshots.
Yeah. Let me go rape the dog.
He's fucking dog shooting people.
I will say, I think a lot of that
drinking milk
is due to the fact that we're oversaturated with signal. We're constantly being hit with shit, and I think it's just hard. Like we're kind of out of focus with reality now, where we just don't know what the fuck's going on. Like we listen.
Obviously, they let us on the damn radio.
We listen to scientists telling us that in 5 million years the Earth will cease to exist. Well, number one, how do you know that? Number two, who gives a fuck?
It's 5 million years away.
It just makes me wonder how many of these people actually believed that this was happening, and how many of these people just hoped. Because I'm pretty much in the contingent where it would pretty much make my day.
You're saying you have your Rick costume ready to go?
Yeah.
Oh, no, dude, I mean, people that know me know I am a tiny bit aggressive from time to time. And just the thought of getting as much armament as possible and wandering the streets, taking out people that were dead. Let's face it, we're going to kill you anyway. Sounds like quite a lot of fun. I mean, it's just real life Resident Evil. What's wrong with that?
Or what is that other movie? Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I fucking love Shaun of the Dead. It's a good film.
You guys can't own weapons, am I correct?
You have to be licensed, and then it's usually shotguns, so it's like farmer types who are usually armed to the fucking teeth. But no automatics, no pistols, definitely no concealed weapons, although most of the youth tends to be armed to some degree, whether it be with knives or bottles or whatever.
I was just curious. I didn't know if your area was anti-gun as well.
I don't know, we're quite a conservative area where I live, and a lot of those people like anti-banning hunting and things like this, but I don't know, I'm not a massive naysayer of owning guns. I quite like guns, to be fair. I think what people do with guns is a different story, but I think guns by themselves don't kill nobody. It's the dickheads holding the trigger.
Exactly.
Just for our audience real quick, in England, conservative probably means, to some degree or another, it means something different than it does here. So, you are saying things that do kind of jive, but just so people know.
Conservative here is very right wing. Right. A lot of the richer, more old-fashioned members of the English government. People who like go hunting foxes for fun and like to wear their tweed suits and speak very properly.
Well, you just nailed me to a T.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I have to say, I sleep next to a 38-inch samurai sword, so the idea of the dead coming back to life,
Well, I have a 2-foot broadsword on the wall over there. Yeah.
That's why I got to buy special pants.
I've got an old medieval bollock dagger.
Nice.
Which is, it's just the handle's carved into, it looks like the shape of a pair of bollocks, to be quite honest, which is why they call them bollock daggers. It's about a 2-foot blade, and it's a beautiful thing. Oh, and the missus has got a hockey stick. Not the hockey that you boys and girls will be listening to over there and watching, but English hockey, which is just basically a big lump of wood with a hook at the end of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different style of hockey.
Yeah.
It's usually played by extremely aggressive women. Pretty much just by women, yeah.
Oh, so it's a field hockey stick.
Yeah, field hockey.
Nice.
Which is always entertaining to watch, but when those fuckers hit you, you really know about it.
Well, y'all have some pretty top notch. Y'all have like rugby and shit like that. We have hockey, which is people beating the shit out of each other legally.
Well, to me, it's like rugby is like a mixture of hockey and football.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good sport. It's a good, honest sport. Let's face it. I mean, it's not very mainstream popular over here. I mean, there's a big following, but it's not as bright and shiny as what you guys would call soccer is over here, which is just absolute bullshit. It's supermodels in shorts playing for huge sums of money, and they've got the average intelligence of a shoe.
Wow, so it is football. So it is a comparison to American football,
except for the supermodel part.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we don't have supermodels.
Aside from Tom Brady, it's not generally that many good-looking dudes in football.
Nah.
I mean, I'm sure you've seen like the underpants models, like David Beckham and people like that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've got my local team, Stoke City FC, and I have to say I do love it with all my heart, being I was born and bred in the area. But the mutants that play for this team. Honestly, I swear to God, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants would give these fuckers a run for money because they all look like Toad.
Do you all remember the old World Football League?
Yes.
Now
World
that was
Football
awesome.
League.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Vaguely, yeah.
It was all the different countries had a American style football
team. Yeah.
But
Are we talking football or soccer here?
No, we're talking like American football.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
But the last game I remember watching was it was hysterical. It was Tokyo versus Norway.
Oh my God! They had like 8-foot guys versus 3-foot dudes.
And that was the first time they ever on TV introduced the helmet cams.
Wow.
So you could see, like, they were talking about the different players and stuff, and you could see the players looking at each other, and the little guys from Tokyo and staring at navels from the guys from Norway.
That's essentially Vikings versus Samurai.
Yeah. Well, what was hysterical?
New comic idea.
Yeah, there you go.
It was a kickoff. Norway kicked off to Tokyo. Tokyo catches the ball. They're running at the Norwegians, and the guy who had the ball did a hook and ran the other direction. And ran right into his own end zone. Pretty much that game was over before it started. But
I asked you never to bring that up again. It was a bad time in my life.
No, I missed it. That was fun, though. Old world football.
Well, there is a European NFL league. Like they have, I think NBA as well. They have European leagues. They're just not big
like they are
here. Like it's kind of like the arena football people. Like it's sort of like the minor leagues. And if you do well in the European League, and then, and also it's a chance for other countries that, some dude that doesn't want to play rugby, but he likes American football, he can jump up and maybe come over here and...
Because I used to go to rugby games in Savannah all the time. That was fun to watch.
Do you boys play that over there, yeah?
Oh, yeah, they have them over here.
Wowzers.
But it's very far and few between. Like, there aren't very many games out here.
I think that's partially that we live in New Orleans, though. New Orleans doesn't have a bunch of anything.
We have a bunch of alcohol and drunk people.
Georgia had a lot of rugby teams.
That pretty much sounds like Stoke, just alcohol and drunk people.
Yeah.
I wanted to take a fencing class since I was 10, but we don't have that here.
Oh, you just go dig a hole and put a pipe in it, fencing? Oh, sorry. Different kind of fencing, but don't
Well, over here, fencing is selling stolen goods.
There you go. That's another one. There you go.
Something we have in common.
Yeah, we have that kind of fencing.
Yeah, we do have that.
Orleans, that's for sure.
So you're talking about the pointy sticks fencing with a foil type job?
Yeah, all that. I've been into swords since I was a little kid. So
he's still into swords.
I am. I like to polish my sword at home.
Swords are into him mostly, though.
You've never seen a sword polished.
Pork swords.
Exactly.
Pork swords.
They're spotless.
That's another good. That's it. That's the name of the cast. It's going to be what was it? Lady
Gardens.
Lady Gardens and
polished
pork swords.
Well, I suppose it's a bit snappier than one-eyed custard chucker, isn't it?
One-eyed custard chucker.
That's a new one by us.
I like that though. That's funny.
They've got there's far too many descriptive over here. I mean, there's a thing. There's like an adult comic over here called Viz, like VIZ, and it's phenomenal. I read this shit from as a kid, and it's all the naughty sort of tongue-in-cheek adult humour, and it's all hand drawn. And they've got this thing called the Profanosaurus, which is a thesaurus of the profane. You guys need to check this shit out. I don't know if a lot of it would translate well, but oh my god, I can sit there reading this shit for hours, and the missus is just rolling her eyes because I'm sat there laughing at something she has no idea of.
I'm always looking for new curse words.
Yeah, definitely.
And
this shit will open your eyes.
I'll be sure to look that up.
Yeah.
One of my favourite one was purple-headed womb ferret.
Purple-headed womb ferret. That's awesome.
I mean, you know what a ferret is, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'll try and work that one into my things to say in bed list.
Yeah, there you go. Purple-headed.
I used to keep a list of horrible things to say during sex, and number one was always screaming your own name. There were so many that I lost.
I think screaming someone else's name would be, like, not either you or your partner's name would probably be the worst.
I always think it would be the worst if you just get off and dead really nonchalantly and just say, thanks, Mum, and walk away.
Yeah, that would be a little fucked up, I'm just saying.
It's all good.
I might just start saying thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to videotape that reaction. That'd be absolute fucking genius. Stick that shit on YouTube. Just stick it all on YouTube, start to finish. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah. Well, they've allowed a lot of things lately on YouTube that they never used to.
Like,
I think I was watching some random manga on there, and it definitely shouldn't have been on there. When you get like serious like demon rape scenes and stuff, and I'm thinking, shit, like kids can watch this stuff.
Have you speaking of manga, have you ever seen Legend of the Overfiend?
Oh yes, I still own them on VHS, all three of them.
Yeah, it's probably, I got to see it in the theater, and it's opened my eyes to anime. That was like the first real anime show I've ever watched.
You mean it opened your eyes to tentacle rape?
Yeah, it did. It was ridiculous.
Well, I showed this to my other half, and like when I first met her many moons ago, yeah, anime was pretty much in its infancy in the UK. And I dug out this VHS. I was like, "You've got to watch this. This is like Akira. This is," and stuck it on, and from start to finish, it was just open mouth.
It's nothing like Akira.
It was just the closest thing I could liken it to.
I guess it's drawn like it, but
it's got a little bit of Tetsuo.
Yeah, it's got something in it. Well, let me tell you.
I'm really
when the opening scene is a gigantic demon raping a nurse, and yeah, that's my kind of movie.
I don't know. These days, I'm trying to get into Studio Ghibli and all that stuff.
Ghibli. I'm not familiar.
Like Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away and that sort of
thing. Okay, yeah, those things.
I still haven't watched Princess Mononoke, but
I'm
slower than you think.
I've actually never watched any of those. Everybody says how good they are, and it's just not my thing.
And
I really enjoyed Spirited Away.
Spirited Away is the one about the little girl that goes to like the afterlife, right?
Yeah, that's
the
one.
That one kind of freaked me out, to be honest with you. Like, I was at a bad point in my life when I watched that, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, this feels a little too real.
I mean, I'm pretty much a Japanese fanboy. I mean, even today, which is why I was pretty much late for coming in here recording with you guys, I was getting a Dragon Ball tattoo sorted on my back.
I saw you were in the tattoo shop today.
Yeah, I saw the outline of it. I'm dying to see what the rest of it looks like.
Well, the dragon's green now. That's about it. Shenron's green. So
I'm more of a Naruto guy myself.
Oh yeah, I'm doing a full anime sleeve, so it's going to be all sorts of random shit.
Nice.
All sorts. Like I think I'm capping it with Bleach. Then there's going to be a big fat Skeletal, some Gundam, all sorts of random shit going on down there. But it's going to be a full Dragon Ball back piece. I can't help myself. I just watch the shit and it just makes me feel happy deep in my belly. So I just thought I can't think of anything better. And it's been done by one of my best friends who's recently apprenticed. Nice. So it's good shit. We just talk shit and get tattooed. It's good, man. It's good.
That's awesome.
But I'm really, I'm far too into anime at the minute. I mean, if you guys like sort of your Walking Dead type deal, High School of the Dead, which is phenomenal. It's only 12 episodes. And
I've heard of that. It's a little hard to come by anime here. Like, you kind of have to go buy it. They don't really play it, you know what I'm saying, on any channels or anything like that.
Well, not that I advocate watching it streamed online for free. But I would imagine that if one looked, there would be a plethora of these websites that give you every single episode.
Right.
Which is it, yeah.
No, I generally don't. I used to pirate a lot of things when I was younger. Now that I'm older, number one, I like to support anyone that I like, because a lot of the things, like I'm a country music fan, American country music. I don't know if y'all are familiar with any of that. But
are we talking like Billy Ray Cyrus type shit?
Not him specifically, but that kind of stuff.
that brand of music.
It's not a type of music that, and I guess metal's similar. It's not a type of music that people give millions of dollars to.
Right.
It's not like rap music. So I try to support the people that I like. The things that I will like, if I have opportunity to download, it's stuff that you really can't find, like live performances from somebody that.
I always download live stuff because I like live performances.
I think the only thing I'd ever say to that is, and this is what I tend to do with music, is if I come across stuff online, if I really like it, then I will go out and buy a hard copy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, if I don't really like it, then why waste my money? I don't want to waste whatever, $14-15 on a CD.
Right. You only put one good song on.
Yeah, if I only want to hear one song off the album.
And this is exactly what I say. I mean, to get our music out there, go out there, download it, get it from your friends, do it on a fucking C90 tape. I don't give a shit. Get it out there, because if people really like your music, they're going to go out and buy the album.
Oh, yeah. Or your shirts or whatever. They're going to support the band. Yeah, they will.
Exactly, and I think that's part of what people are forgetting. They sort of look at this whole thing as a money-making venture, and it's all about having the kick-ass merch and, you know what I mean, and pressing the right buttons with people's feelings. It's bullshit. Write some good tunes. If people like it, they'll buy your shit, whether they've downloaded it or not.
Yep, right. I agree.
There's no sense in going all fucking Lars Ulrich about the fact.
Well, the funny thing that people pointed out when all that went down was that Metallica used to encourage people to go and record their shows live.
Yeah.
And there's literally, like, they try to draw a distinction now between when we were kids, holding a recorder up to the radio for your favorite song and downloading it on the internet, and it's like, no, it's bullshit. It's the same thing. One way or another, you weren't paying for that person's music. And, having Metallica encourage you to do it 10 years earlier and now being pissy about it because they're millionaires, it's like, well, go fuck yourself.
It's amazing. The people who are going to go out there and buy your music initially tend to be, the youth. And when I was a kid, I couldn't afford to go out there. And when I was a kid, it was LPs, big vinyl pieces. I couldn't afford to go out there and spend the equivalent of, 6 months worth of pocket money on one album. Right. So you got a scratchy cassette tape from your friends, or passed down from your brother or whatever, that was taped on a hi-fi deck straight from vinyl to tape. And you'd pass it around your friends, and you do mixtapes for each other of all your favourite shit, and that's how, then you go out and buy the album. That's how it should be. Tape sharing, although sadly a thing of the past. Oh man, I don't know if any of you guys are the same, but when I was a kid, someone handing you a cassette tape and you're listening to, I don't know, nine tracks from 9 bands you'd never heard of or had just seen pictures of in magazines and things. Yeah. And the excitement of getting this shit and listening to new music was so massive. Yet now kids can just click on YouTube, go onto whatever website, download it, and then it's gone, flash in the pan.
Yeah.
There's no excitement over new music anymore, and I think a lot of bands need to cultivate that. They need to show how excited they are about their music, because you can't expect anybody to be excited about it if you aren't.
Yep, you're right.
I think the internet's taken the excited out of a lot of mediums. I mean, like, not to be crude or cruder, but like porn, like it's just so easy for kids now. It's so easy to watch on YouTube. There's no challenge to it. There's no excitement.
There's no watching scrambled TV trying to catch a tit every now and then while you're trying to beat off it. While the door is creaking open and you think it's your mom and you're like,
that's why I have those old VHS cassettes. No, but I mean, on any level, musically, all that, there's no anticipation to it, and anticipation's a big part of the excitement.
Definitely.
We used to smuggle in those gigantic tape recorders into concerts, and the coolest thing to do was try to get a collection of the bootleg concert.
Yeah.
That was so cool, man. You used to have so many of those cassette tapes of just shows of, and all you could pretty much hear was like the guy farting, yes, somebody screaming, but it was
you'd
cool.
still be so excited to listen to it.
Yeah, and you would listen to it over and over again.
Yeah, you get all your friends around and you'd make them listen to it, and it'd be, in today's standards, it'd be a pile of shit recording. If you saw on YouTube, after 20 seconds, you'd think, fuck this, I'm not playing this.
Yeah.
But you'd all be super excited, seriously excited to sit there and listen to this bag of wank. And at the end of it, you'd all be complimenting the band on how amazing they were.
Yeah,
Thanks,
exactly.
Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
One thing I think that's lost on the generation is music, and the whole music scene is its own culture, and people just they don't get it anymore. You can't get that type of sense. Like, well, I'm using this as an example. If you're a motorcycle guy, if you're into Harley Davidsons, that's a bike culture. That's its own thing. Music scene, it's its own culture. They need to get more. People need to understand. They need to be a part of it, not just look at a picture of it and in their fucking in front of their computer screen. They need to get out there and support the bands. They need to go out there and experience the rest of the world when it comes to music to really get an understanding of what it's all about.
Definitely. I mean, it's like I was saying about the kids today, and they're all wearing, I mean, I can't say anything because we were all wearing the same shit. We all had long hair and denim jackets and jeans and shit. But they're looking at an image on a screen and copying it. They're not going out there and being a greasy little bum like we all were.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's like you say, it's a subculture.
It is.
It used to be such an exciting thing to be part of these subcultures. I mean, I've been a biker for as long as I could ride a bike, and I've been a metalhead for God knows how long since I got into music. And it's always been subcultures that have drawn me into them. The tattooing's the same, and I think I don't know, I think maybe it's the kind of people that listen to it, to the music that get into it. But then you see all these kids who are just following these carbon copy, what's popular, hot topic, like you were saying earlier, hot topic bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just cheapens the whole thing. It cheapened it for me. Sitting there as a lifelong metal fan, diehard. I mean, I've got waist-length hair, riding motorbikes. You know what I mean? I suppose I'm a cliche in a lot of respects. It's true. You know what I mean? Long hair, tattoos, leather jacket, riding motorbike, whatever.
But the thing is, you're pretty real.
We're
talking to you. There's nothing fake about you, and it doesn't matter. Like I have a cowboy hat. I'm not a fucking cowboy, but I got a leather racing jacket and shit like that. I ride too on occasion, and who gives a fuck? Like if you think I'm a poser, well, you're either not gonna like me or you can suck my dick or whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Precisely.
You got to be who you are and not give a shit whether or not somebody thinks, oh, well, he's such a cliche.
Right. And with all these other kids that are doing the, like we said, the hot topic bullshit, all they are is being candy cutter, basically, or cookie cutter, whatever you want to call it. They're just the same clone over and over and over again because they think that's what they need to do, and it's cool.
Right.
And that's where the originality starts disappearing, and where the music starts getting diluted, because people start thinking, right, we've got to stick within these boundaries. We have to follow Formula X, Y, and Z in order to get famous. We've got to sing, we've got to scream, then we've got to do a massive breakdown, then we've got to do it again, and then we've got to do some bass drops all the way through it. And bada bing, you've got yourself a fucking deathcore band.
Yeah.
And they start, instead of standing on the shoulders of giants and using what you've been influenced by as a kid and as a youth and as a man, and thinking, yeah, this is where I want to start, and this is where I'm going to go with it, and this is what I'm going to do with it. They go, we've got to be this. We have to follow this template. And like I say, originality dies because they're not trying to come up with something new or something avant-garde or something shocking. They're just trying to copy. And I don't understand. I can understand the fact that people want to be famous and that people want to get this kudos from being in a deathcore band, and I'm not knocking. There are some really good bands out there that are deathcore that I can't knock. There are some proponents of this music that I could think, yeah, that's fucking good music. But what I'm talking about is the generation that's been spawned from this soulless, vacuous bullshit that people are listening to. And I know I sound like a fucking broken record.
Let it out, man. Let it out.
Go for it.
Oh, it just drives me insane that people won't be original, won't take chances. I'm fully prepared for everything that I write with Tom and with the rest of the band for people to go, that's amazing, or people to go, that is absolute bullshit. And I can't say that it wouldn't piss me off, because it would if someone come up to me and went, yeah, you did that, and that's pretty shit. And I can't lie and say I wouldn't be gutted, because I would, but you've got to be prepared for that, because you try and push your own boundaries. The first album's raw because it was all about seeing what we could do with what we got. You know, we were a fresh band together. I didn't know the guitarist who's now my writing partner very well. We just fucking went for it, stuck your balls in the water and tested out what it was. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas kids won't take these chances. They just go, right, kids have got to like this, and they've got to go crazy, and they've got to go and do kung fu in the middle of the fucking mosh pit, which also pisses me off so much.
That irritates me, man. A quick side note is I went to a show one time, and I forget where this band was from. So I went to go see them, and these metalcore kids were in the middle of, the pit doing their kung fu bullshit, and one of them hit me. I turned around and just punched the fuck out of him. He fell on the ground, and I got thrown out of the venue because I punched this kid. But I'm like, well, he just kicked me, you know?
Have a little round of applause for that, because I think that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. But I mean, the kid kicked me, and I just it was a reaction. I mean, he hit me, so I turned around and hit him back.
That's fair dues. I mean, mosh pit etiquette. I mean, everyone knows someone falls on the ground, you pick them back up. You know what I mean? You don't overly grope the women. It's. You know what I mean?
I like how you put overly grope. That was good.
Does that mean you don't grope the top side? You just go bottom?
Well, it's like if they have baggy clothes, you don't shove your hand up their crotch or stuff like that. Stuff like that.
Pretty much. But I mean, that's all gone with this. They see it in a few videos. These kids are windmilling their arms and fucking around like a Chuck Norris with epilepsy. And it's
Are you implying that Chuck Norris doesn't have epilepsy?
Well, he can throw some fucking crazy shapes. I saw him in that film with Bruce Lee, and I swear to fuck, I was going to watch him transform at some point. But, I mean, it's crazy. I can totally see. I mean, I think you were totally justified. If someone hit me, even if I was on stage, I would drop them like a sack of shit.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that. That's not what it's about. I don't know if you guys, especially the metal boys amongst you, it was a brotherhood when you were a kid, and you were all little metalheads together, especially because you'd be on the fringes of what's popular. You know what I mean? No one liked a fucking metal kid when we were kids.
Oh, no, not at all.
There was absolutely zero coolness about it. I think that's probably why we're more hardcore than a lot of people would be in the culture.
Because, back then you got everybody who wore a metal shirt was a Satan worshiper or...
fucking stoned.
Yeah, or always got high, or it was just a troublemaker.
But in all honesty, that really was me.
Yeah.
I was just about to say the same thing.
I was thinking, except for the devil worship, I hope.
I had...
On occasions.
On occasions.
I do own a copy of quite a lot of LaVey stuff, but I just find it an interesting read, to be fair.
I have an Athame, and it's got some wear.
I don't worship the devil. We just hang out and have drinks. It's
a couple shots. That was like the last podcast where we went to when we hung out with the Pope.
Right. Surprisingly, similar vibes.
Yeah.
They're both pretty chill guys. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm not saying
just a little holier than thou, but whatever.
Is it just me, or does the new ex-Pope look a lot like Emperor Palpatine?
He does.
In that one picture, they like, to be fair, they're pushing that,
That is one sinister motherfucker.
He was Hitler Youth, so.
Yeah. Well, apparently a lot of people were back then.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was kind of one of those things where they had to go in there or he was probably been killed, so.
Yeah.
I get it.
I assume he's changed his ways at this point.
Maybe a little.
Yeah.
It would always be amusing if there was no white smoke when he died. He was just thrown into a large pit with loads of electric and lightning flying around everywhere.
You cannot know the power of the Vatican.
By the new Pope, right? Just throws him in.
I wouldn't be the guy that controls the flue for when they burn and get the white smoke up. I want to be able to do like smoke rings.
Or just get a big vast bong at the bottom.
Or you could
there we go.
Fuck with it, throw like different color stuff in there to make it like burn green. What the hell does that mean?
And then Doc Brown will jump out and go, Marty!
Throw some magnesium in there, everyone thinks fucking Harry Potter's died.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, man.
I kind of want Christopher Lloyd to be the new Pope now.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Wow.
But anyway, man, we'd like to thank you for coming on, Mark. It was awesome, awesome having you, dude. I hope this helps the band somewhat.
Folks, go check out Skeletal Damage, skeletal.damage.com.
It's on, and if y'all want to be cheap bastards, it's on iTunes.
Right.
Buy the CD.
Buy the CD.
That's right.
Feed my child. I have a child
new
who
one-
needs feed.
New CD on the work, so that's going to be awesome.
With any luck.
And you can go to our website, which is MHOGpodcast.com, and it'll have all the links to all their stuff on there. Again, Fan, thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's been a total pleasure. I've had a good time, man. I've really had a good time.
You definitely have to come back on. I mean, even if you don't have anything you want to promote, just come on and bullshit with us, because it was fun.
Yeah. Oh, man, well, as I'm sure you've gathered, I can talk shit for fucking England.
Nice.
Well, anyway.
It's a hobby.
It's a good hobby.
I'm Wayne.
I'm Adam this time, right?
Yeah, you were Adam.
Oh, sweet.
And this is Rum.
And that was our guest.
Yes, indeed.
And remember, boys and girls, to keep it metal!
I'm Flat from Skeletal Damage, an MHOG podcast will make you more successful sexual.
Look, I don't care what the telly says, alright? We have to get out of here. If we don't, they'll come up here and they'll tear us to pieces. And that is really going to exacerbate things for all of us.
Okay, then.
That's it.